One fine day, I got a message, a job offer, for a role I'd applied to weeks ago and honestly almost forgotten about. I want to be honest about where I was in life at that point. I'd been applying for months, dozens of applications a week, the kind of job search where you start refreshing your email just to feel like something is happening. So when this message came in, it didn't feel like luck. It felt like relief, like the universe had finally noticed me. The message said the role was still open, the pay was better than what I'd applied for, and they wanted to move quickly. Could I start the process this week? Looking back now, I can see it. Fast, flattering, and just urgent enough that I didn't stop to think. But at the time, all I felt was hope. The recruiter was friendly, warm even. She asked me to move the conversation over to WhatsApp. Easier to coordinate, she said, since she was juggling a lot of candidates that week. I didn't think twice. Everyone does interviews over WhatsApp these days, right? Then came the interview. It was over video, and it went well, really well. They asked me real questions about my background, my experience, why I wanted the role. It felt exactly like every other interview I'd ever done. A few days later, an offer letter landed in my inbox. My first real job in this market. After months of nothing. I actually got emotional reading it, if I'm being honest with you. And then came the second email. Before we onboard you, we need a small refundable deposit to cover your laptop and training materials. It'll be returned in your first paycheck, they said. Something in me paused, just for a second. Here's the part I still think about. I've spent almost 20 years working in financial crime, catching exactly this kind of thing for other people. And even I sat there, staring at that email, doing the math on how badly I wanted this to be real, and how easily I could have talked myself into just paying it. I didn't. I asked one simple question instead. Could I visit your office before I send anything over? And just like that, silence, no reply, not that day, not ever again. I sat with that for a while, because that's it. That's the whole scam. No hacking, no fake websites, no complicated technology. Just someone patient enough to wait for the exact moment I was tired, hopeful, and finally ready to believe. I couldn't let it go. So I started looking into it properly, the way I would for any case. Turns out I wasn't even close to alone. Job scams have exploded over the past few years. Hundreds of millions of dollars lost every single year. And that's just what gets reported. Most people never report it at all, because honestly, it feels embarrassing to admit you almost fell for it. I understand that feeling firsthand now, in a way I never did before. And here's the part that genuinely surprised me. The part I wasn't expecting to find. Some of these fake job networks aren't just small-time scammers chasing a quick payout. A few of the bigger ones have been tied to organized criminal networks, and in some documented cases, to sanctioned actors quietly using fake job offers to get people placed inside real companies. What started as a question of did I almost lose $200 turned into something a lot bigger than I ever expected it to be. But here's what actually stuck with me the most, more than any of the numbers. It's not that these scams are especially clever, it's that they are aimed, almost perfectly, at people who are new to this. People applying for their very first job. People who just moved cities for a fresh start. People sending out their 10th application this week, tired enough that a red flag starts looking exactly like a green light. That's exactly who I built something for. It's called learnwithsiorik.com. Nothing fancy, no gimmicks. Just mock interviews that actually sound like real compliance interviews, built around real regulator names, real reporting terms, real questions you'd genuinely be asked, for the specific country and role you're applying to, and an honest CV check that tells you exactly where your gaps are before a recruiter ever gets the chance to. Because I've realized something. The candidates who know what a real hiring process actually feels like are the ones who notice immediately the moment something feels off. I'm not going to stand here and promise you it makes you scam-proof. Nothing does. Not even 20 years of experience saved me from that one paused moment. But the more prepared you are, the less time you spend guessing. And the less time you spend guessing, the less time you spend exposed. If you're job hunting right now, especially if you're just starting out in AML or compliance, come see for yourself. Learn with Siorik.com. Because next I want you to be the one who asks the question I almost didn't ask.